my beautiful little unicorns, and welcome back to my channel. If this is the first time that you're on my channel, I'm Vanessa and I, and welcome to the fam. So as you guys most likely know, I am very active within the comment section of my videos. And I have noticed that a lot of you have been asking for a love reading. So that is exactly what I'm providing. An intriguing, mesmerizing, and eye-opening love reading. And we have a few things within this reading that are going to be slightly different than usual. At the end of each reading, we are going to be pulling one of these postcards in order to give you more information on what you should be focusing on right now in order to ensure that you allow your love life to flourish as much as it possibly can. So these postcards are a representation of messages coming directly from your spirit guides. Furthermore, today's crystals are a little bigger and chunkier than you're probably used to if you tune into my videos regularly. So this exact set is going to be linked down below in the description box. You can purchase it off my website alongside with a lot of other crystals, crystal sets, chakra sets, and the thing that differentiates my website from other websites that sell crystals is the fact that you can see the exact crystal that you will receive in the mail within 2 days. Usually crystals take forever to arrive, but I thought, I know my unicorns want exactly what they want and they want it quick. So feel free to check that out if you're interested. So the 4 crystals that I have prepared for you to choose from today are as follows. We have the Azurite Malachite, we have the Hematite, we have the pale pink Dolomite, as well as the Baryte. So make sure that you pick as many groups as you feel resonate with you. If you feel drawn to multiple groups, then that means that your perfect reading may be a mixture between multiple groups. So there's no shame in the multiple groups game. Just want to throw that out there. But yeah, we have spoken quite a bit within this intro. You guys know I like to keep the intros short so we can talk more within your individual readings. So I'm going to be starting off with the first group, which corresponds to the Azurite Malachite, and to all my other fabulous groups. I will catch you at the click of your timestamp. Hello, group number 1, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the Azurite Malachite, which is a gorgeous crystal. Let's do a quick close-up of this. So it is just like this gorgeous, kind of like dark blue with a hint of orange as well as green. So it's really very multifaceted, but I want to get into your reading to figure out exactly what is going on in your love life and how we can improve it. So we have the Knight of Wands as well as the 8 of Cups. So in the Knight of Wands, I see somebody who is interested in you, who is of a fire sign, okay? I see somebody here who is kind of very eager to link up, somebody who is willing to tell you exactly how they feel. That is one thing that I see in correlation to the 8 of Cups. So even if they're kind of a little bit confused about their feelings for you, they're still going to tell you all that they know in that very moment, okay? So in the Knight of Wands, I also see somebody who can be kind of impulsive, who can act on a whim and doesn't always think things through thoroughly, okay? They have a little more maturing to do, but they're not immature or naive, okay? They're just on their journey to becoming the best version of themselves. Then we have Death as well as the High Priestess, okay? So group number 1, I want you to know in the High Priestess that you kind of need to know what you want to go with at any given point in time. Group number 1, are you struggling a lot when it comes to your love life, whether you want to stick with what is logical or what your heart is telling you to say, okay? So that is one thing that I see in the High Priestess that you're maybe struggling with, not quite knowing what to go with, what to trust, you know, whether your gut feeling is really trustworthy or not. And I see that moving forward, you have to move into a new era where you kind of leave your doubts behind. That is one thing that I see in Death, because they're not serving you, okay? Your doubts are just kind of like slowing down your decision-making progress, and it is actually keeping people out of your love life. It's keeping people away from you, because this indecisive kind of energy is energy that the universe or whatever higher power it is that you believe in cannot properly read. So therefore, it's a very confusing message. You know, the universe doesn't know, are you ready? Are you not ready? Do you want somebody that is like this or like that? Because the messages are just so mixed and so kind of all over the place, scattered. So it's important for you to get everything on track and just focused in one direction and focused on one kind of thing that you desire. Then we have the Tree of Life as well as the Trickster. Okay, so one thing that I want to talk to you about, okay, so separately, The tree of life is all about kind of like fertility. It's all about conception and, you know, being able to form a new life, if that is something that you desire. But in correlation to the trickster, I see that there might be challenges, okay? There might be challenges in conceiving itself later down the line in your love life, or right now, if that is something that you're pursuing. But I also see that those challenges may not necessarily lie within you. Those challenges may lie within the situation, the person who you're trying to conceive with, who you're trying to build a family with. You might want to start a family at a very different point than they do, and they may feel like they have more time, or they may want to rush things more than you, and that is a point of contention. That is where I see that things can get a little bit difficult in your love life, okay? But otherwise, I see that there is a lot of commitment here. There's commitment to love, commitment to the relationship. So this is really like almost a good problem to have, whereas other people are kind of struggling to even get that initial commitment, if you know what I mean, group number one. Of course, that does not discredit your struggles, the things that you're dealing with, because when they're your struggles, they never feel easy. The grass is never greener on the, you know, on your side when you're dealing with those struggles. So I completely get where you're coming from and how you feel about this. Then we have children, we have the owl, as well as new beginnings. So it seems as though you're really kind of like up for a new beginning, up for a beginning with children. I mean, the tree of life in correlation to children is really a sign that maybe if you never even wanted kids, that is something that may come back onto the table that you never even thought was an option for you. And all of a sudden, wow, you know, things just change and you start thinking about life and just children, having offspring in a whole new light, okay? So in the owl, I see here that it's important for you to follow your intuition. I want you to know that your love life is often based on your beliefs, okay? Because your brain is kind of like a record of the past, okay? Your brain is a record of everything that you have experienced, which can often affect you in the now. So if you've had a bad experience with relationships, with, for instance, infidelity, you may be very much more aware and afraid of that now than prior to those experiences. I mean, of course, who wouldn't be? But I want you to know that it's important to try and put those things to the side and follow your intuition in a way how you can be as little biased as you possibly can be. That is very important for you, group number one. I want you to know that it is time to begin a new chapter in your love life where you follow your intuition, where you don't allow bias to tell you which route you're going or who to believe, who not to believe, where you just follow that pure gut feeling that is here in the present moment, in the now, that you don't base your decisions on those records from the past and experiences from the past, that you move forward with a very neutral kind of slate as much as you possibly can. We're all human. There's no way somebody can be 100% neutral. I mean, that is a lie, but we can try and be as neutral as possible. We can try and put our emotions from past experiences on the back seat as much as we possibly can in order to just allow new energy, new possibilities, as well as new love into our lives. And then we have the feathers as well as fire. Okay, so we had fire show up twice within your reading, group number one, and I want you to know that this is a very clear indication of the kind of person in your love life, okay? The kind of person that would be the best fit for you at this point in time, the kind of person that you can really kind of vibe and gel with the most, okay? In fire, I see here that passion is one thing that is so important within your relationship. When the passion dies, a little piece of them dies, a little piece of the relationship dies. I want you to know here in feathers that it can be restored. I don't want you to be afraid about, you know, ups and downs within relationships. They exist, they happen. It's something that we all need to deal with when we are in a committed long-term relationship. But I want you to know in feathers that restoring things back to a point where you both feel valued, where you both feel like there's passion and more liveliness in the relationship is very much possible. But I don't want you to worry too much about that. right now, group number one, I just want you to know that it's kind of important for you to just go with what feels right, okay? In the High Priestess, I see that so often you have tried to take the more logical route, and then you thought to yourself, I should have just listened to my gut feeling. I should have just listened to my intuition, especially when it comes to reading people, okay? A lot of different fire signs are very charismatic and know exactly what their strong suits are and where they kind of like lack just what is not so much their strong suit. Let's just leave it at that. And you know, they play their cards right. So fire signs can be very charming, so it's very important for you to go with what feels right for you. I'm not saying that they have bad intentions whatsoever. Of course, that is not the message. The message is just the fact that some people are toxic for you. Some people are good for you. And it's important for you to learn how to weed out toxicity. And you can actually already start with that in your personal life, not even in your love life, and try and really figure out who is there when you need them. You know, who is there on the journey and who's just there at the finish line. That is what I like to say. I like to kind of give you this picture of running a marathon, and who is there like nourishing you, handing you water, you know, like really cheering you on to the finish line, and who is just like waiting for you at the finish line to just benefit from what you just accomplished, to just be there to celebrate after it's been done. You know, those are two very different types of people. And of course, you want the person who's fueling you along the way, who maybe even misses the celebration at the finish line because they spent so much time caring for you along the way, okay? And I'm not saying that they should miss celebrations. You understand what I mean. It's more important for them to fuel you along the journey than to just be there in the good times. So group number one, this is your reading so far, but I want to jump into your postcard, which is going to give you an idea of what you really need to emphasize on right now in your love life in order to create the best possible love life, okay? So, celebrate life. Dear you, uncertainty is the new normal for the whole world. Very true. The things are changing at a rapid pace, and the old ways we once trusted are no longer reliable. But leaving the familiar behind can be a good thing. When you're pushed to step into the unknown, you are pulled forward into discovering new possibilities that have been hidden in plain sight. Check in with your higher power. Your soul knows better than your small self. Have faith in the support of a higher power and the infinite potential of your life. Right now, the advice we have for you is this. Try something new, do something different. You won't know how it feels, what it looks like, or what the outcome will be if you do not take that first step into the unknown and experience the unfamiliarity. You'll be so glad you did, because the treasure will appear. We're so proud of you for being brave. You're so loved and supported. Messages from your spirit guides. So group number one, this is the reading that I received for you regarding your love life. I really hope that you enjoyed it. I hope it was eye-opening as well as motivational to a certain degree. Let me know down below in the comment section what hit home. Also, if you made it all the way to the end of this reading, leave a little popcorn emoji down below to let me know, and I will catch you in one of my upcoming videos. Hello, group number two, and welcome to your reading about your love life. So you chose the Hematite, which I'm going to give you a quick close-up of. This is just such a gorgeous rock. I absolutely love it. It's really heavy, and it's just like, looks like something from outer space, to be honest with you. But let's move into your reading to figure out exactly what is going on with your love life. So we have the King of Wands as well as Temperance. So one thing that I see here in Temperance is the fact that you have to kind of keep yourself a little bit more secluded, okay? In Temperance, I see that you may sometimes try and jump into things quicker than they're really ready for, so it's important for you to kind of hold a part of yourself back, to keep a part of yourself confined and like a mystery, okay? I see here in the King of Wands that you have somebody coming towards you of most likely a fire sign, or somebody who has very strong fire sign placements within their birth chart. So that is something you can look out for, group number 2. And one thing I want you to know about the King of Wands is that they're the kind of person who is very authoritative. They're the kind of person who likes to get things done, and they like to plan ahead, and they like to look into what is going on within their future. So giving them a little bit of that exciting edge is something that keeps them on their toes and something that keeps them guessing and happy within a relationship. So that is one thing that I see in correlation to temperance, just keeping, you know, some things a little secret until later in the connection. Then we have the moon as well as the star. So this is a very interesting combination. I want you to know in the star that there is hope for things that you were afraid about, okay? I want you to know in the moon that not everything is as it seems. Sometimes we feel as though love is difficult, love is something that may never come, or we may always struggle with. But we don't realize that all we need is that one little glimmer of hope in the star, that one little light that all of a sudden changes everything from one second to the next. So I want you to keep that in mind in difficult times, in dark times. I want you to use that as a way to kind of like support yourself, okay? To kind of like give yourself mental support, especially if you feel a little bit alone or everybody around you is in a committed relationship, a marriage, or you just don't really feel the love and support when you need it, okay? And even if we have great friends, great family, sometimes we need just that extra little hug, that extra little push. And when nobody's around, you gotta be your own cheerleader, and that's just the honest truth. Then we have the Devil as well as the Three of Pentacles. So beware of going out, drinking too much, eating unhealthy foods, just indulging in behavior that is not healthy, as I see that the only kind of person that you will meet in those situations is not good for you, okay? Group number 2, keep this in mind. There's a reason why the Devil showed up within your reading in correlation to love and the Three of Pentacles. It is okay for you to celebrate with your friends, your family, the people closest to you. It is okay for you to try new things, you know? It is fine to partake in a birthday party and just indulge a little too much in unhealthy behavior. We've all been there. Otherwise, how are you going to know your limits, or how are you going to know what it feels like? And some of us just want to find out, okay? And that's fine. But in correlation to love, it is not a good idea to meet somebody under those circumstances. This person is going to subconsciously not have very much respect for you if they meet you while you are, for instance, intoxicated, high on cookies, whatever it is that I'm talking chocolate chip cookies, okay? For all of you out there who thought I meant something else, depending on your food, drug, just unhealthy behavior of choice, I want you to know that this is not what they're into, okay? And subconsciously, they're already going to kind of put you in the category of not twin flame, of not somebody that they want to be with in the long term. So look out for that, okay? When you go out, you focus on yourself, you focus on your friends, on having a good time, but not on finding love at this point. Then we have the Trickster. So I see here that there are some people who are just trying to get in your pants. Yes, I said it, group number 2. I'm just going to be blunt and honest. You have to look out for that, okay? You're the kind of person that a lot of people like to be closer to physically, but if you're not here for just quick affairs and just kind of like run-ins of that kind of nature, you may want to distance yourself from people who are only looking for that kind of encounter. Then in water, I see here that it is important for you to express your wants and needs from the beginning. I see that the King of Wands, the person who is ideal for you in love, is going to be able to take it. And I always say this to friends, to anybody who needs advice in the love department. If it is meant to be, they're going to be okay with delivering a certain standard of respect, a certain standard of life in this relationship. They're going to be okay with the role that you need them to play. If you need them to play a role of somebody who is there for you emotionally, that is not high maintenance, okay? That is just something that you require and desire, and we all should be fulfilled within our love life. And I feel like just society has put out the stigma that you're high maintenance if you want to be fulfilled in love, which is just so wrong. I mean, are we all supposed to just live an unfulfilled love life in order to seem like we're not high maintenance? I mean, who even sets the standards, the bar for high maintenance? Like, I would like to meet this person and have a conversation, sincerely. Then we have dreams as well as good fortune. So you clearly have some good luck coming for you in your love life, which is amazing news, group number 2. And I want you to know here in dreams that the person who is meant to be with you, the person who is really your twin flame, is going to push your dreams and believe in your dreams. So you may have encountered this in the past where you like somebody and you tell them what you want to accomplish, but you can feel that they don't really believe in it, okay? So it's kind of like, you know, if you know, it's kind of a bit like unspoken, but you just have this feeling and you know it's right, okay? But I see that the one is going to believe in you regardless of what your dream is. Then last but not least, we have the dragon as well as the 7 deadly sins. So I want you to see here that you're going to have to be a little courageous in your love life, as you're going to have to overcome a little bit of your bad habits, okay? So that may be, for instance, partying and meeting people when out partying, or meeting people through a specific kind of friend who does not have good friends for you to date, or for instance, just going on an online platform where people are more likely to have meaningless hookups instead of what you are looking for. So you're going to have to kind of like look in the mirror, be courageous about that in order to lead your love life on the most beneficial path. Group number 2, we are now going to look into a postcard for you, which comes with a message directly from your guides, from your spirit guides. So let's see what they have to say about your love life. So, you are magical. Dear you, what is true for you? Can you be impeccable with your word? Sure you can. As long as it's not used to manipulate others, the truth can set everyone free. Let go of the results, let go of your fears, and allow the truth to empower you and others. This will set into motion a kind of change that will be supportive of you and loving and all kinds of prosperous. This is not a time to compromise and hide your truth from others. Whatever it is you want, go for it and be clear in your motives, especially with yourself. If you will be so happy, you will be so happy you did. This is a time where you will tap into the power to co-create and manifest your best life. Doesn't that feel amazing? And the results, miraculous. When you tell the truth and ask the same of others, you can learn a lot from life's bountiful lessons and achieve your dreams. Love you always. Okay, so group number 2, these are the messages that I received for you regarding your love life. I hope that you found it empowering as well as motivational. If you did, leave a little 4-leaf clover emoji down below in order to let me know that you made it to the end of your reading. So wherever you are in this world, group number 2, I wish you a fabulous day or night. Stay safe, and I will see you in one of my upcoming videos. Hello, group number 3, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the pale pink Dolomite, which is of course a gorgeous crystal. Let's do a quick close-up for you to just absorb this gorgeous crystal's vibes. Okay, there we go. That's the sweet spot. So can you see how it just glistens, and it's just so gorgeous. I honestly love this crystal so much, especially in its raw form. It just exudes so much beauty. But let's move into your reading to figure out what's going on with your love life before I get too carried away with my crystals. So we have the Lovers as well as the Queen of Pentacles. So we have amazing news for you, group number 3. When it comes to your love life, the Lovers card is one of the most favorable cards in the tarot. Okay, I want you to know that the Lovers indicates a committed relationship that is built up on respect, as well as healthy boundaries and just mutual understanding and love. I see here in the Queen of Pentacles that one thing that you and this future lover can really bond over is just the fact that you get each other when it comes to your career. You either have very similar aspirations or very supportive of one another. Okay, we have the 5 of Cups as well as the King of Wands. So one thing that I see here in the King of Wands is that this person is somebody who is most likely of a fire sign, or just somebody who has very passionate energy. Okay, they don't have to be of a fire sign, but they have very passionate energy. I see here in the King of Wands that the only time where you really clash is when you two have such passionate opinions about certain things that you disagree on them. And that is really like good problems to have in a relationship. Of course, when those are your problems, they never seem good, but I just want to let you know that these are problems where you're kind of like fighting about what idea is best, what idea you guys should go with when it comes to business, when it comes to your life in general, how to plan the future. And that's because you've both informed yourself about different things. You're not just talking without any kind of without any proof behind what you're saying. You're always coming from a point where you've informed yourself about the best possible decision, and now we have two very well-informed people talking about what the most logical and beneficial thing would be for you to do for a joint future. Okay, so that is kind of the point of contention that I see. If that's really an issue, I'd say no. Even the most seemingly perfect couples argue. I mean, it's just normal when you're with each other a lot, when you spend a lot of time together, your opinions will differ. But I want you to just keep in mind that, you know, things can tip very easily. So just be grateful that these are the kind of things that you have arguments about or discussions about, instead of things that are a little bit deeper than making decisions about the future, which I'm not discrediting whatsoever, but I think you totally understand what I mean, what kind of issues that I'm talking about. Then we have the 5 of Swords as well as the 10 of Swords. Okay, so one thing that I see here in correlation to your love life is that right now communication is very important. I see that in the past, in the 10 of Swords, you know, maybe your communication wasn't as good. Maybe you were a little bit shy to really say what you wanted and what you desired out of love. And that is something that just kind of sabotaged a few relationships or kept you for longer in a connection with somebody who didn't want the same thing that you wanted, or who kind of like strung you along, all because you were maybe a little bit too shy, a little too chicken to just say how you feel. So if that is one thing that you have struggled with and this is the reading that you chose, leave a little chicken emoji down below to let me know. And also, because chickens are just so darn cute. In the 5 of Swords, I see here that in order to kind of not have this point of contention in your love life anymore, just say how you feel. Don't wait, don't allow things to kind of like fester or for things to continue developing without completely knowing that this person knows exactly what you expect of them and what you desire. Because sometimes we can be afraid that we're going to scare somebody away if we tell them what we want, what we desire, and the things that we're not okay with. And that fear often comes to bite us in the butt, because we think to ourselves, if we would have told them from the beginning, then maybe these games wouldn't have gone on for longer than necessary. So you'll know that it's the right person if they stick around even after you've given them your laundry list of things that are important to you in love. Then we have the middle world. We have sea creatures as well as bells. Okay, so one thing that I see here in the middle world is that it's important for you to remain in the present moment, okay? Especially in love. Maybe you are reliving the past very often, especially if you've been through a lot in love. It can be very easy to tell yourself, well, I've had bad experiences in love. I can't trust anymore because I have trust issues. So yes, you may have trust issues. Yes, your trust may have been broken in the past, but honestly, what good does it do if you bring those trust issues into your current situation? Nothing, okay? Because yes, I understand it is hard to trust, especially if your trust has been broken. As I can see here in these sea creatures, that you may have a very sensitive energy when it comes to trust, just like a water sign. Maybe you even are of a water sign, and I understand the difficulty in that. But at the same time, there is no point in already having kind of like mistrust, distrust. You get what I mean, and already feeling like you cannot fully trust the person, and kind of deflecting from the fact that this is not about them, this is more about you. That is one thing that I see in the bells. The bells are all about deflection, and it's important for you to not deflect from things that maybe you still need to deal with or you still need to get over, all because they have kind of stuck with you. And of course, this does not discredit anything that you have had to work through or anything you have had to experience. Having your trust broken is probably one of the hardest, most painful thing that only people will understand who have gone through the same, okay? So it is important for you to know that we're not discrediting this here, but at the same time, you have to work on it in order to give everybody a fair shot, because that person that broke your trust, you gave them that trust at one point in time. Remember, you gave them your heart, and yes, they decided to break it. They decided to do things with it that we all wish that they hadn't done. But the person that you're going to meet, the people who you're meeting now for your love life, they deserve the same trust, especially your twin flame. Doesn't your twin flame deserve even more trust than the person who proved to be a snake? You know what I mean? So it actually doesn't make sense that one person can ruin it for everybody else who is yet to come in your love life. So keep this in mind and try your hardest to just give everybody a fair chance, okay? Then we have the Dove, as well as resilience. So in the Dove, one thing that I see here is that you just have to take this leap of faith that we spoke about in trusting again. And I know it's not easy, it takes time. Sometimes you have to just pretend a little bit in order to get yourself to a point where you're like, haha, yeah, I mean, I trust you, but not really. To know that taking this leap is something that is good for you. It really only has pluses to taking this leap, okay? And I want you to know here in resilience that you have to rise above tribulations in your love life. I see amazing things coming for you, but you have to just communicate. You have to be honest. You have to be direct. I see here that the King of Wands is somebody that you can impress the most with just telling them exactly how they feel, and you can win their respect, earn their respect in that way particularly, okay? So you're going to also have to be resilient to people who are not the right ones for you, people who might be toxic for you when it comes to love, okay? Because when you tell them exactly what you want, they may ghost you, they may fade away, they may tell you, oh, you're too high maintenance, ha ha ha, and that is not something you should let seep into you. That is something you need to put far away from you, because you know what you want and you know your value, and you have to be resilient against people who are trying to drag that value down, trying to devalue you, or trying to make you feel as though you have no right to feel this way, okay? You have the right to be confident, you have the right to know your value and to stand by what you know about your value. So keep that in mind, group number 3, that is important for you. But now I want to move into picking a postcard directly from your spirit guides for you. So I hope you're ready to hear these messages. So we have with love. Okay, so dear you, sometimes you just feel like no one understands you, you're not heard, or even that you don't count. This, my dear, is a terrible illusion, and although your feelings tell you that abandonment is real, well, we who love you know better. You are never alone, and even when rejection happens, you are ultimately being protected, so better things can replace what wouldn't have worked in the first place. Everyone on this side of the veil is watching over you and rooting for your ultimate success. Life loves you, we love you, and you are a unique spark of the divine and always connected to the light and to source. You are always in our care. Trust and keep the faith. Love you always and forever. So that is the message that I have directly from your spirit guides in form of this postcard. Group number 3, I really hope that you enjoyed this reading. I hope that you found it empowering as well as motivational. Let me know down below in the comment section what hit home for you. And wherever you are in this world, I hope that you're staying safe, and I will see you in one of my upcoming videos. Hello, group number 4, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the Baryte, and there is actually so much more to this stone than meets the eye. I just want to do a quick close-up in order to show you. It is just so gorgeous. There's so many different shades of like pink and red in this, and it is just so multifaceted, most likely just as your love life. But let's get right into it in order to figure out exactly what is going on within your love life. So we have the Six of Swords as well as the Princess of Wands. So one thing that I see here in the Six of Swords is that communication is something that is important for you to do with yourself. I know group number 4, you're like, I'm here for a love reading with somebody else, not to talk about myself, but often love has a lot to do with who we are and not so much with another person. In order to successfully find love or be in the kind of relationship that you desire, it's important for you to get to know yourself, your strengths, your weaknesses, as well as the things that you need to work on in order to make a successful relationship last and even come to fruition. So I want you to know here in the Princess of Wands that you have some ideas of things that you could be better at things that you should maybe play out more, okay? So if you're, for instance, somebody who is very understanding or somebody who is very adventurous, creative, you have to play on your strengths more than you have in the past. And I see in the Princess of Wands, as I said, you have an idea of what those strengths are, and trust that sort of gut feeling, because it's important that you feel comfortable with the things that make you feel like, yes, this is my strength. Because if you feel like you're good at, for instance, being adventurous, but you're uncomfortable the entire time you're on an adventurous date or on an adventure with somebody that you're looking to be in a romantic relationship with, that is obviously not going to put the best energy out there in the air and probably going to be difficult to connect with them over that kind of vibration. So keep in mind that you have to be comfortable as well as feel like, yes, this is my strength. Then we have the Ten of Pentacles as well as the Two of Wands. So I see that you have a little bit of decision making to do. I see here that in love, you're going to come to a point where you have to decide what it is that you want. Do you want to focus more on your career, as I can see here in the Ten of Pentacles, or do you want to focus more on your love life? Okay, so this may also be a decision that you have to make if you're, for instance, a female who wants children at some point in time. Yes, we can do it all, but it is undeniable that when you bring another life into the world, that is going to take a lot of time from you, from your career, your love life, your personal life. I mean, that only makes sense. And that does not mean that we can't have it all or do it all, but we're going to have a lot less time on our hands, because you can't stretch the day further than the 24 hours that we already have, right? So you're going to have to decide and kind of pick your priorities in a way that makes you happy. But this is overall a good thing. This means that there are things coming into your love life that are bringing you to a point where you have to make a decision between something that you love and something that you also love. So amazing things coming, which can make decisions difficult, but when you're at that point where you have to make those decisions, always keep in mind how grateful you should be that you are even allowed to make these decisions in your love life, even though it seems like you don't want to pick. Then we have the Ace of Swords as well as the Queen of Wands. So one thing that I see here in the Queen of Wands is that, you know, somebody that you would be really good with in a relationship. I see that this person is somebody who is nurturing and at the same time pushes you. So you're somebody maybe who needs to be pushed. I see here in the Ace of Swords that you always have great ideas, great creations that you want to bring to fruition, but it can be very difficult for you to push yourself to a point where you actually start to create it into a reality, where you actually start to manifest it, where you actually start to bring it to fruition. And I see that the person that you're meant to be with gives you that little push, gives you that extra little bit of confidence to push you to start, okay? So of course they can't push you the whole way, but they give you that initial confidence to start with whatever it is that you want to create or that you desire to do. Then we have the Medicine Bag, we have the Lodge, as well as the Lower World. So one thing that I see here in the Medicine Bag is that your love life has a few treasures within it that are yet to be uncovered and discovered. Okay, so discovered, why? Discovered. In the Lodge, I want you to know here that you will most likely be able to discover and uncover those situations, you know, those treasures, all of the bounty and bliss within your love life while you are in a situation that is social, okay? Situation with friends, with family, maybe even online. You know, after all, it's called social media. There are lots of places where we come together, just like in my comment section, for instance, and we exchange our thoughts, our experiences. So if you made it all the way to this point of this reading, leave a little flame emoji down below in order to let me know. Then in lower world, I see here that things from the past are resurfacing in your love life, and I see that those are things that you may have just kind of pushed to the side or may have always had to deal with but haven't made time to do at this point. But I see here that this person that is coming into your life, this person that you're supposed to be with in love, is somebody who will confront those things in a gentle way, yet a way in which you can process those situations, a way in which you can actually create, how should I say, a better future from finally clearing up the past and not kind of just dragging it like a heavy weight behind you, if you know what I mean. Then we have intuition as well as cheer up. So I see that this person that you're meant to be with, I see that your love life is going to come with a lot more happy energy. That is one thing that I see in cheer up. Living in the moment, kind of allowing yourself to know that you can't change what has happened and that you have to move forward. I see also this person coming into your life being somebody who brings a lot of joy, a lot of happiness, a lot of celebration. So they are most likely the outgoing, really fun one, while you kind of maybe a little bit more introverted, or maybe you're a little bit more on the quiet side, and they're the one that kind of always brings the party with them and always knows the right words to say in order to cheer you up, okay? But right now, by yourself, you have to learn to also cheer yourself up when you're feeling down, when you're feeling like you don't quite know where things are going, especially in love. So it's important for you to trust your intuition. It's important for you to know that you do always know best, okay? While other people may give you some great advice, at the end of the day, they don't know what it feels like to be you. They don't know what kind of hurt, what kind of emotions that you go through. So it's important to take other people's advice on board. That is great, but at the same time, know that you have to make that final decision. You can't have somebody make it for you, or you will most likely end up regretting it. So last but not least, we have your postcard. So let's see exactly what kind of messages that your spirit guides have for you on what you need to focus on in order to allow your love life to flourish as much as it possibly can. So we have, this is hard to read, you shine brightly. So, dearest you, all your prayers are heard and mirrored back to you from the unseen realms. Be grateful and praise things before they manifest, and always ask for the highest good. When you plead and beg, that will bring you only more reasons to plead and beg. Instead, offer your prayers and sacred gifts as a testament to your faith in a higher power. Open up and let Spirit move through you and comfort you. Add meditation as a way to become empty, so you will be ready to be filled with inspired epiphanies, peace, understanding, and joy. In this moment, your prayers are being answered for the highest good of both you and all life. Sometimes what you pray for is not supposed to happen for you, and your prayers will be answered in surprising ways. At this moment, we are listening intently to your prayers and want you to know that your highest good is our priority. All is well. That is what your spirit guides want you to know at this point in time, group number 4. So I really hope that you enjoyed this reading. I hope that you found it empowering. I hope that it gave you a little bit more clarity. Let me know down in the comment section what really hit home for you, and I will see you in one of my upcoming readings.